And what that is you cook up some ramen and you boil it up in your pot. And once it's done cooking, you start adding in mashed potatoes, instant mashed potatoes. And believe it or not, if you're that hungry, it tastes just like a pierogi. One other thing is that there's a saying that goes, the trail provides. And this term goes into many different areas. It goes both into if you need something, usually there's people around that'll have it and give it to you. But it also goes with food. In southwestern Virginia, there's a lot of apple trees. So I took that to my advantage and used my peanut butter with those. You know, cut little slices and dip them in peanut butter. And these were a healthy during the day snack that I didn't have to carry anywhere. So it was very handy. One other thing that I foraged a lot that I didn't have pictures of was wild blueberries. Up in Maine, on every mountaintop there's blueberries. So I did a lot of foraging, but it's usually for simple things like apples or blueberries, blackberries, etc. So here's my friend Young Giraffe again. And this pizza is known as the Mahusik Monster. This was a hiker challenge, not necessarily a hiker challenge, but it's a challenge at this restaurant. I misspoke, it's not the Mahusik Monster. I'm blanking on the name, but it's another mountain up in New Hampshire. And the Moosalok Monster, there we go. And this pizza, before it's cooked, it's probably about that tall. And when it's cooked, it's probably maybe that tall, but essentially it's like two pizzas stacked on top of each other. And you get to use a partner, and you have an hour and a half to eat it. And it has every topping under the sun on it. It's got the whole garlic. And Young Giraffe failed to tell me before we started this challenge on this $40 pizza that we'd get our money back if we ate all of it. He forgot to mention that he doesn't like to eat mushrooms. So if you could picture it, that's mostly mushrooms there. I ate all of my piece of the pie, and he still's got a bunch on there and some on there. So long story short, we failed, and then we failed on top of that because, well, it just didn't sit well in our stomachs. And the owner afterwards told us that if we had finished it, he would give us a free beer. Another hiker challenge, this one actually is a hiker challenge. This is at Pine Grove Furnace State Park in Pennsylvania, just after the halfway point where we met Pineapple and Cheerio earlier. And this is called the half-gallon challenge. So halfway through the trail, you're challenged to eat a half gallon. And I understand these are just pints, but once you finish the pint, then you have to move on and get an extra cup of ice cream. I was with a large group at that time, and only about 25% of us finished it, not including myself. I just couldn't, but after I did finish the whole pint, and afterwards I was just sick of ice cream, so I got a quesadilla instead. But all you get for completing that is bragging rights and what they call a spoon, but it's just a little wooden stick. So I didn't feel like I missed out on much, and I got a quesadilla. Who really won? So this picture was taken at a place called Max Patch just before the Smoky Mountains. And it was taken because one of my alternate trail names, oftentimes people will recommend names, but by the time you have one set, it's kind of inconvenient to change it. One of my alternative names was Spoon Slayer. I probably went through 20 spoons on this trail. And the first one was a durable spork, a nice reusable one. And I lost that one within 150 miles. And so afterwards, I would just go to the nearest fast food restaurant and get a spoon, and inevitably it would break. So I was called Spoon Slayer by those who knew me closely. This category is called Home on the Trail.